In this video, we'll be tying a Wally wing hatchmaster. This is a very effective fly pattern for PMDs, calabatus, and flobs on spring creeks and rivers that have smooth runs. So let's get started. For this demonstration, I'm going to be tying a PMD version of the Wally Wing Hatchmaster, and we're going to be using a size 17 Tiemco 212Y hook. I like this hook simply because it keeps the center of gravity right under the wings of the fly, allowing the fly to float upright and high on the water. First, we're going to be laying down a thread base, and I'm using Beavis size 16 yellow thread for this demonstration. Now we're going to be putting on the abdomen of the fly, which is a yellow dyed flank mallard wing. You want to start by tearing off all of the fluff down at the bottom of the stem, along with some of the webby fibers, and this is what you should have when you're done with that. Gently fold back 5 or 6 fiber pieces on each side of the stem so that they are equal. Just take your time. And that's what it should like when you are done folding them back. Now you want to pull them tight along the stem. Whoops. Got a couple more pieces here. They're very delicate. Pull them tight and measure out the length of the abdomen for approximately a size 16 PMD. Then a couple of light wraps with the thread. Get the feather positioned to where you want on top of the hook, and then secure it. You want to cut off the excess. Next, you want to take a needle or a sharp-pointed bokken and separate out the end fiber on each side of the feather at the top, like so. This will give you the tail. And reach in there and snip out the remaining fibers on along with the stem. And then you have your tails. They look about the right length that I was looking for. Now we're going to use another flank feather, duck feather, for the wing in natural color. Again, we want to strip out all the fluff at the bottom of the stem and the web feathers or fibers, and then holding the very tip with your left hand of the feather, start stroking the fibers down towards the bottom of the stem, like so. You want to do it gently because these fibers can tear off relatively easy. Make them even on each side of the stem as you stroke them down. Just take your time. It might take a number of strokes till they all sort of start folding down, like so. You want to fold them back and pinch it. Fibers together at the bottom of the stem. So you have a wing ready to be placed on the hook. The concave side up. With two light pinch wraps or loose pinch wraps, and then secure the wing in with some tight wraps. Check to see if you get the appropriate spacing that you want for the wing. And once you've got them secured in there, you want to reach in and bring the remaining fibers that are sticking out in the back of the wing. You want to cut them off at an angle. Once you have completed that operation, put a couple of more securing wraps, smooth out the transition between the wing and the abdomen, and with your index finger on your right hand, bend the post up, or the wing up, so it's posting. And now grab the outer fiber on each side, in this case the right side of the wing, and gently pull splitting the wing along the center stem. Again on the other side, pull out the last outer fiber, and again gently, ever so gently, tear the wing from the center stem. Cut off the center stem down at the bottom of the wings, and the two fibers on each tip of the wing. Now fold the wings back, get them into the position that you will want them. So they're sitting right up on top, slightly separated. And at this time I would take some super glue or some light cement and just dab the bottom of the wings down along the shank of the hook. This will increase the structural integrity of the wings. Now we want to put a little bit of PMD dubbing, very little, on the thorax. This fly will float high on the water. Remember, we've got mallard wings, which are already waterproof, so to speak, on both the thorax and the wings. And you're going to be using CDC for the hackle. So you don't need to be putting on any floating to get this fly to sit on top of the water. If the fly gets a little bit waterlogged, you just need to fluff it up with a little white desiccant powder and it'll be good to go. So now we want to form a dubbing loop. And I'm just going to be using, for the CDC hackle, I'm going to be using one CDC puff. And I'll put that in between the dubbing loop. Like so. Cut off the stem. Kind of even up the fibers. Spread them a little bit. And then spin the dubbing rope until the fibers look like a spiral staircase. Once you get the spiral staircase, you can start wrapping around the CDC hackle on the thorax. Folding it back and then tying off the dubbing loop. A couple of wraps. Form a little neat head. Then with a couple of half hitches, tie off the fly. Put a little glue on the head. Secure the wraps. Clear the eye of any glue and cut off the thread. There you go. A Wally wing hatchmaster tied as a PMD. Great fly, especially for spring creeks. Thank you for watching.